Good.
Good.
Like, you ready? Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakah,
Waka,
Kodash.
Kodash.
A double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. And this lesson is actually going to be entitled "For Those That Don't Believe." Now, maybe a couple of weeks ago, a brother brought out the account of the angel at the football game, okay, during Thanksgiving, and the game was Washington Redskins versus Dallas Cowboys. Of course, you had Akim that believed, and you had Akim that didn't believe. But at the same time frame, it doesn't matter because the focus is on salvation and things of that nature. And you have to understand something too. Brothers' faith are at various levels. So just because one brother may believe more than another brother, that doesn't mean that he isn't a man of the Lord. Okay? We all have to continue to fight each and every day. And at the same time frame, just because your faith may be at a just on a high level, you still have to ask for more faith and more strength to endure, as well as that brother that needs more faith. He has to pray for more faith and more strength. All right, but we're just gonna get some accounts, for men of the Lord that just basically kind of doubted from a time or another. You want to add something?
Yeah.
All right, Second Kings chapter 6 verse 8.
All right, this said King chapter 6 verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of the Most High sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down.
Right, go ahead.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of the Most High told him, and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was so troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel?
Go ahead.
And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elijah the prophet.
Elisha.
But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber.
Right, because Elisha was actually a man of the Lord, and if you know anything about the history of Elisha, basically, his mentor was Elijah. Okay, and when Elijah was translated from this dimension to the spiritual realm, he asked for a portion of Elijah's faith. Okay, go ahead, bro.
And he said, go and spy where he is, and I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dathan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was rising early and going forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they be with them.
Now you can see at this point that Elisha's faith was on another level. He actually seen the angels, the host of the angels, man. So he was able to see what was going on outside of this realm. And in order to do that, you have to be extremely spiritual, which means your faith has to be on another level. Go ahead, bro.
But the servant who was kind of troubled,
Yeah.
He basically had the faith like Elisha.
Right, because Elisha was stabilized by his faith, and that brother had to be built up.
Right.
Go ahead.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man and saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Now, this is what the servant was seeing. He was seeing the same thing that Elisha was seeing. And in the process, what did Elisha do? he built his servant up. He edified his servant by praying for him. And at that time frame, when the Most High adhered to Elisha's request, what happened? That man's eyes was open, and at that time frame, his faith was built up by utilizing that account. All right, you got something on that, bro?
I was talking about the scriptures.
Okay, go ahead, get whatever you want. Hey, shalom, bro.
Shalom, Rock.
You know, so like we say, man, it's all about edifying each other, and you know, certain brothers are on a different level. You know, it's a body. You know.
This Romans 8:31.
Mm-hmm.
What shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us?
Yeah, if the Most High be for us, who can be against us, man? So at the end of the day, whether it's Esau, the sword, the Most High sword, or Esau's joint heirs, these other nations, as well as the physical demon Satan himself, they cannot do a goddamn thing unless the Most High sanctions that.
Right,
and that and what I'm saying is backed up by the account of Job in chapter 1.
You know, I brought that up because, you know, in 2 Kings 16, he said, fear not, man. The Lord always saying, fear not, be not afraid, man. Because the Lord is with us, man.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, bro, but you have to believe, you know?
Yeah.
And if you don't have, you know, and if if your faith ain't where it's supposed to be at, you have to pray for more faith, more strength, more guidance, so on and so forth, man.
You know, you got to pray fast, man.
That's right. Fast, too. Hey, bro, get Genesis 18 and 20. Now, this account is actually going into the Lord destroying Sodom and Gomorrah because of the wicked and filthy acts this place was doing, along with the other cities. I think it was like 5 more cities as well. But you know, the Lord, if you can receive this, if you go to the beginning of this chapter, it wasn't actually Yahweh. It was his son Yahushua and 2 other angels. All right, let's start.
Genesis 18:20.
Yeah.
And the Lord Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous.
Right, and that's why America will be destroyed. And I know this is off the subject, but basically America's sin is very grievous to Yahweh while Yahweh shine. All right, and they have that same spirit such as Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, and this is the reason why America, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, will be destroyed as well. There's nothing new under the sun.
Right, but it said their sins have reached unto heaven, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which it come unto me, and if not, I will know.
Continue.
And the man turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord.
Yeah, and those men is actually talking about those 2 angels, and at this time frame, Abraham is talking to Yahushua. And how do we know that Abraham was talking to Yahushua? Because Yahushua stated to him that I will return to thee during the appointed. I will return to thee during the appointed time, meaning he came back as Isaac. Go ahead, bro.
And Abraham drew near and said, well, they also destroy the righteous with the wicked.
Right. So and then Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Go ahead.
Pre-adventure, there'll be 50 righteous within the city, where they also destroy and not spare a place for the 50 righteous that are therein.
Right. So why is Abraham saying this? Why is he so worried about what's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah? Hence his nephew Lot. All right. That's why he was worried, because Lot was a righteous man, and Lot also had a family. Go ahead.
That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be is the wicked. That be far from thee, should not the judge of all the earth do right?
So in the spirit, if you can receive this, Abraham is just basically being a mediator for Lot. You know, he's basically just trying to make sure or ensure Lot's safety. Go ahead, bro.
And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes.
Continue.
And Abraham answered and said, behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes.
Right. Now, you know how strong Abraham's faith was. All right. It tells you in the scriptures that basically his faith was accounted for as righteousness. But in this process of time right here, going to this account, why is he continuing to ask Yahushua these questions? Is because basically, hey, he was doubting a little bit. Hey, Shalom, bro. He was
Shalom.
doubting. Go ahead.
Pre-adventure, there should be, so like pre-adventure, there should elect 5 of the 50 righteous, what they'll destroy all the city for lack of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it.
Continue.
And he spake unto him yet again, and said, pre-adventure, there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake.
Continue.
And he said unto him, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak.
So why is Abraham continuing to do this? He's basically, he's doubting a little bit. And the more he's asking these questions is basically to basically build his faith up. To reestablish that belief, because he knows that the Most High is righteous, but at the same time frame, look, our spirit be engulfed in his flesh, man. And a lot of times, that's why it's always a constant war with the flesh and with the spirit. Your spirit believes, but it's the flesh, because it's attached with these demons, sowing crazy shit in your mind, man. So Yahushua had told him off top that he was not going to destroy the righteousness, but at the same time frame, Abraham still needed that reassurance, man.
Yeah.
And that's why he kept asking those questions after questions after questions, man. Go ahead, bro.
Pre-adventure, there should 30 be found there, and he said, I would not do it if I found 30 there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, behold now, I have taken up me to speak unto the Lord. Pre-adventure, there should be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Pre-adventure, 10 shall be found there,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord went his way, and as soon as he had left communing with Abraham.
Right, and the reason why Yahushua, love, because at that time frame, Abraham was relaxed in the spirit. All right, he felt reassured. Now, okay, we had 2 accounts with Elisha's servant, that basically he had to be built up. And at this time frame, Yahushua had to build up our forefather Abraham. All right, so just because you have certain brothers that could not receive that was an angel at the game, hey, okay, so be it. That doesn't mean that you're not men of the Lord. At the same time frame, hey, you keep pushing, man, because some brothers can see deeper within the spirit than others, man. This is a body, man. Everybody's not going to be the arm. Everybody's not going to be the leg. You're going to have hands. You're going to have the shin. You're going to have the feet, so on and so forth, all right? You guys know, bro? Hey, hit the phone and see what the brother Yasha had posted to me. What do you think?
John 10:25.
Okay, you want to read through it?
I get
Let
it.
me get that, brother.
It's John 10.
25.
John 10:25.
Yeah.
It's John 10:25. Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me, but ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Right, now, the non-elect, are not going to believe, period. All right? Because why? They have not been chosen by Yahweh, okay? But at the same time frame, and I see what Yasha's the spin on it, hey, you're going to have the elect, okay? And they're going to believe in certain things they're not going to be able to see in the spirit. But at the same time frame, that does not mean that they were not men of the Lord. Okay, what proved it? We just got an account of Abraham. There was a time, where he basically had doubted. That's why he continued to ask these questions. But according to the scriptures, his faith was accounted for as righteousness, man. And what about the man of the Lord who doubted when he was the servant of Elisha? Elisha had to build him up. He literally asked the Most High, Father, please open his eyes so he can see, the heavenly hosts and assure him that we're gonna be protected. You know, and he was still a man of the Lord. You know, so hey, at the end of the day, just do the work, man. You know, and just pray for more faith and fast more if needed to be, man. What the brother said. There you go. That's right, brother. Hey, your faith has to be built up, man. And that comes with experience, man. You know, that's all that comes with, man. A brother that first came into the truth is not going to be on the level with that. You know what I'm saying? A brother that first came into the truth is not going to be on the same level that a brother that's been in 2 years. A brother that's been in 3 years is not going to be on the same level than a brother been on 5 years, and then 7 years, and 10 years, and 20 years. There's levels to it, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
This Luke 20, 22 and 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, Simon, 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 behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I brought that up because the Lord praying also for his elect, man. You know, but if you lacking faith, you know, just praise to the Most High, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And read that last part again, because that was significant.
It said, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right. So when you're converted, when you're built up, then strengthen your brother, man. You know, that's what you do. Once you come on the level, then what you do is you pull that man up to help him get on the level as well, man. By any means. All right. Get John 10. I'm sorry. Get John 20 and 24.
John 20, 24.
Yeah.
It's John 20 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
But Thomas, one of the 12 called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came.
Right, meaning that Thomas did not see Yahushua in the flesh at this time frame. Go ahead.
The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails. So if thrust my hand into his side, I would not believe.
Right. So Thomas basically received word from his fellow disciples, and they said, "Look, we seen Yahushua," but he didn't take that word for it. All right. His faith wasn't built up. All right. But at this time frame, does that make him wicked? Does that make him not a man of the Lord because he didn't believe at this time frame? And then when you click on Thomas' name in the Greek, it has an apostle of the Lord. So he was a man of the Lord. But this is just a balance. You're going to have brothers that are on a level regarding faith. And then you're going to have brothers that are not on the level that needs, to be built up, But ultimately, these bros have to be convinced in their own mind, regardless, And when you're convinced in your own mind, you're going to pray more. You're going to pray for it. You're going to fast for it. You're going to receive counsel about certain situations and things of that nature, So these bros that didn't believe the angel, and personally, I believed it was an angel, but that doesn't mean that those brothers that couldn't receive that, that doesn't mean that they are not men of the Lord, man. That's the point of this lesson. Go ahead, bro.
And after 8 days, again, his disciples were with him, and Thomas with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace be unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Then said he to Thomas, Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing.
Right. So really, Yahushua is building Thomas up, and at the same time frame, as Thomas is doing this, what he's telling him, be not faithless, but believe. Go ahead.
And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my power.
Mm-hmm.
Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
Right, and blessed are they that have not seen but yet believe. Because like we said before in the last lesson, this truth is 100% spiritual, man. Yeah. But the Most High and Yahushua are so gracious, they still give you physical affirmations to say, hey, this is us working for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's something you want to add?
That's pretty much it.
All right, last scripture for us. Get Acts 15, And you know, you get start at 35, bro. Yeah.
Acts 15:35. Paul also and Barnabas continuing in Antioch,
Antioch.
teaching and preaching the word of the Lord with many others also.
Mm-hmm.
And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas,
Mm-hmm.
let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do.
And that's the point. Hey, Acts 15:36. And some days after Paul said to Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brother in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do. All right. Why? Because basically they were building up these bros, man. And it's gonna say that. Continue, bro.
But Barnabas, I had a quick one.
Oh, go ahead.
This 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do.
Mm-hmm. You want to break that down? No, you good. Take your time. But that's still a good scripture. You know, hey, the main thing is to edify one another, build each other up, man. And what's the old term? Hey, iron sharpens iron, man. All right? And the iron is actually, from a spiritual standpoint, these are the scriptures.
Right. This 1 Thessalonians 4:18.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Yeah, that's how you. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, you know, by the scriptures, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you got some.
But no, you took it. You know, and that's how we do it. You comfort these bros by the word. We comfort each other by the words, man. And that's how we build each other up at the same time, right?
You know, like the last one, like edifying each other, man. Help building the brother up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Acts.
Yeah, go back to Acts. Let's read 36 again, bro.
All right, Acts 15:36.
Mm-hmm.
And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do.
Mm-hmm.
And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose name was Mark.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul thought not good to take him with them to the work.
Mm-hmm.
And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and said unto Cyprus, and Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And he went through Syria and Sicily, confirming their churches.
Can I read that again?
And he went through Syria and Sicily, confirming the churches.
Right, and if you jump back to 15:36, it states, and some days after Paul said to Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brother in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord. And why did he do this? You jump to 41, and he went through Syria and Cilicia, confirming the churches. And when you look into that Greek term of confirm, it means to strengthen more, meaning he was continuing to edify these churches, man. Lord willing, you are edified. All praises to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Wakakwadash.
A double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. And shalom, Akim.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yakunan.
Shalom.